Daniel had been on his feet since 6 in the morning. His worn-out sneakers squeaked against the tile floor of Bella's café as he balanced 3 plates on one arm and a pot of coffee in the other hand. At 34, he was not exactly where he thought he would be in life, but he showed up every single day with a smile, because somewhere across town, his 7-year-old daughter Lily was waiting for him to come home, and that was reason enough to keep going. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? The cafe was packed that Tuesday afternoon. Every table filled with the usual lunchtime crowd of office workers, students, and regulars who barely looked up from their phones long enough to say thank you. Daniel did not mind. He had learned long ago that people were caught up in their own worlds, and he had learned to find his own quiet dignity in doing his job well. He refilled coffee cups without being asked, remembered orders without writing them down, and always made sure the elderly couple near the window got their food first because they looked like they had been waiting the longest. It was just who he was. Then, without any warning, it happened. A woman in a sharp charcoal blazer walked through the front door, her heels clicking with purpose across the floor. She was somewhere in her mid-50s, polished and composed, the kind of person who commanded attention without trying. Her name was Catherine Harlow, though no one in that cafe knew it yet. She was the founder and CEO of Harlow Enterprises, a company worth over $200 million, though she never carried herself in a way that made ordinary people feel small. She had simply wanted a quiet lunch away from her board, meetings and conference calls. She got 3 steps inside before the slick patch of water near the entrance, left unmarked and unnoticed, sent her crashing hard to the floor. The sound of the fall cut through every conversation in the cafe. For 1 second, the whole room went silent. Then came the laughter. It started with a snicker from a table of young men near the door, then spread like wildfire across the room. Phones came out instantly. Cameras pointed at the woman still struggling to get up, and someone even started narrating the moment out loud for their video. Not a single person moved to help, not one. Daniel was across the room when he heard it happen. He did not stop to think. He set down his tray right there on the nearest table, moved quickly through the crowd, and knelt beside her before anyone else had even processed what they were doing. He did not say anything embarrassing or loud. He simply placed one steady hand on her arm and said quietly, "I've got you, ma'am. Take your time. There's no rush." He helped her to her feet gently, made sure she was steady, then guided her to a clean table near the back where it was quieter. He brought her a glass of water, checked if she was hurt, and spoke to her the way you would speak to someone you genuinely cared about. Not like a waiter performing a duty, but like a human being choosing kindness in a room full of cruelty. Catherine said nothing at first. She straightened her blazer, composed herself, and looked at him with eyes that had seen a great deal of the world. "Thank you," she said. And the way she said it carried the weight of someone who understood exactly what had just happened in that room, and exactly what he had chosen to do. Daniel just nodded, picked up his tray, and went back to work. He did not make a show of it. He did not look around to see if anyone had noticed. He simply kept doing his job. What he did not know was that Catherine Harlow had noticed everything. She noticed the way the other customers had laughed. She noticed the way not one employee except Daniel had moved. She noticed the way he had treated her not as a spectacle or a burden, but as a person deserving of basic human dignity. She sat at that table for 2 hours, nursing her coffee and watching him work. And what she saw confirmed everything she had already felt in those first 30 seconds. Here was a man who showed up with his whole heart. Before she left, she asked to speak with the manager and paid her bill, leaving a tip so large that Daniel stood at the counter unable to speak when he saw it. But that was not all. 3 days later, a representative from Harlow Enterprises called the cafe and asked for Daniel by name. Catherine had done some quiet asking around and had learned his story. A single father raising his daughter alone after losing his wife 4 years earlier. working double shifts to pay rent and keep the lights on, turning down nothing and complaining about even less. She offered him a position in her company as a customer relations coordinator, a role that came with a real salary, real benefits, and real hours that meant he could be home every evening to tuck Lily into bed. Daniel accepted with shaking hands and tears he tried hard to hide. On his last day at the cafe, the elderly couple near the window brought him a card signed by everyone in the neighborhood who had ever been touched by his quiet kindness. Catherine attended his first day at the new job personally and told the whole team, "This is the kind of person who makes everything around them better simply by being present." Daniel never forgot where he came from. He never forgot the squeaky sneakers or the heavy trays or the long mornings that stretched into longer nights. But he also never forgot what Catherine had shown him. That one person paying attention, one person choosing to see you when the rest of the world looks away, can change the entire direction of a life. And in a crowded cafe on an ordinary Tuesday, that is exactly what happened, because one man chose to help instead of laugh, and the world, at least for the two of them, became a little more worth living in. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness True Stories, where every story reminds you that compassion is always the most powerful thing in the room.